And in my eyes, like, I really thought it felt that I was surrendering. I felt like I didn't have anything left to surrender. And Spirit said, "Oh, you think so? Bet. Really? Okay, that's cute. Hold my cloud teeny, please."
When I was born, grandmama could see it. I be Bentley driven and very strategic. RM fleet, no diamonds are needed. Floors are heated, so be it, so be it.
Aight So BOOM. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. I am Becca. If this is the first time that you have seen my face, I'm back. I have tried in so many ways to try to figure out how I wanted to do this video. It felt very intimidating. I literally have been on a social media break since end of November, and the entire time that I was gone, I was trying to figure out what to say, how to say it, how much of it to say. And baby, I just decided we just don't talk. Cause we people, right? We can talk. We just don't talk. First off, let me not be rude. Happy New Year. As I'm filming this, it is January the 14th, which is the day before my birthday. So, happy birthday to me. That's gonna be a whole nother video, child. But I've been gone since a little before December, so like towards the end of November. And baby, this to me was supposed to be just like a regular like reset before the new year. Okay, I was trying to get ahead of the game in terms of content, in terms of mental health. If you've been following me across any of my socials, you know, child, 2025 was a year. I feel like it was a year for all of us, for real. And it took me being on this social media break to realize that. But 2025 was just, it was a true 9 year. It was a true year of endings. You know what I'm saying? What was supposed to be like a, what can I call it? Like a digital detox or a little self-care sabbatical. It turned into so much more than that. My God, on today, this turned into like this whole rewiring of mech almost. You know what I'm saying? And I stepped away, honestly, because I needed the silence. I really did. 2025 had been so loud, and I just needed somewhere where I can go and didn't have to hear all of the noise. My noise, everybody else's noise, just noise, period. I got to the point where I didn't want to continue to be in a place where I was thinking my way through life and thinking my way through situations. I really wanted to sit down and be still and really hear, feel, see, taste what it is that spirit and my ancestors had to say to me. That's something that I haven't been able to do in a very long time, if ever. And most importantly, not saying that, you know, spirit isn't important, not saying that my ancestors are important, but I needed to hear me, child. And in me trying to hear myself is where I quickly found out, girl, you don't even know what you sound like, ma'am. I also wanted to take a break because the last couple of months of 2025 was the last couple of months of my 12th house perfection year. If you know, you know. That ain't really a season when you be outside kikiing it up. You know, like it's solitude. Sit down. Reflect. Release. And I wanted to honor that, honestly. I did. And I think I did a pretty good job of it. I didn't want to rush through it. I didn't want to numb it. And I didn't want to distract myself with social media and other people's energies and all of the things that we have in abundance to distract ourselves with. I actually wanted to be present which is again something I have not been really able to do in such a very long time because I've been in survival mode. Now, let's be frank, okay? Let's be clear. This wasn't Mech's first time being thrown into the deep end. And when I say the deep end, I'm talking about my 12th house perfection here. Because that child is the deepest of the deep, my God. If you've been following me for any amount of time, honestly, in the last 5 years, you have seen me, whether you knew it or not, going through a lot of initiations. Some of those initiations were forced, and some of them I had to get pulled by my bun. To be honest, I thought that I had already did my big one. I thought that I had already jumped over the biggest hurdle that I had, that was leaving my job. If I could break it down to y'all, like, leaving my job felt like the cliff. The cliff that I had been, like, teeter-tottering on for years. If you know, you know. Almost dying, as wild as it sounds, that felt like, it felt like the collapse. Like, if I was to describe it, it felt like a tower moment. Like, in the worst way. Literal definition. But losing everything, after feeling as though I had been obedient, baby, that flipped everything. And we may talk about that fuller. Child, am I making up words? We may talk about that in another video, because honestly, that deserves an entire video dedicated to itself. Because anyway, and in my eyes, like, I really thought it felt that I was surrendering. I felt like I didn't have anything left to surrender. And Spirit said, oh, you think so? But Spirit said, oh, you think so? Really? Okay, that's cute. Hold my cloud teeny, please. Here's the thing, though. As painful as all of that was, and as much as I did not understand why all the things that were happening, because, like I said before, I thought that I had surrendered to everything. What I now realized was happening was room was being made. The room for the things that I had been praying for that didn't really have the room to land and expand in the ways that they needed to. The room for alignment and not force and not performance. Yeah. Yeah. But most importantly, room for the version of Mech that was suffocating, my God, on today, under who I thought I had to be. Clock that. 2019 through 2025 showed me everything that I needed to see. It stripped away the illusions. It stripped away the people pleasing, the performing, the pretending. It removed anything and anybody that was not in alignment and was not a match for what I had been praying for. Y'all be asking Sierra for her prayer. Try that removal prayer. Try it. I dare you. I double dog dare you. And things left, things departed. There were some situations and things that, like, left quietly. There were some things that left loudly. There were some things that were holding on for dear life. But guess what? They left. And for once, I'm so proud of myself. I let them go without a fight. Full surrender. And so all of that happening the first 2 months of 2025, which honestly I can say now that I'm thankful that it happened at the top of the year, because I had the rest of the year to process. And don't get me wrong, I didn't process 2019 through 2025 all in 1 year. Even now, at the top of 2026, there's still things that I'm still healing through. There's things that I struggle with on some days. But one thing that 2025 really provided me was quiet. I had to shut down Curated Self in 2020. Was that 2024 or 2025? That was 2024. I shut down Curated Self in 2024, and I thought that I would be able to open it back up like mid-2025. Spirit was like, no. I had writer's block. I couldn't write. Ended up scrapping the entire manuscript for Foolish 3. It had no motivation to work on it. It was feeling like Spirit said, I said, come in here and sat down. So I sat down. I had no choice. And what I appreciate about the quiet that I was allotted was it allowed something to click for me. And it sounds very simple, but if you know me, you know it's not. I realized that I could not carry who I was in that moment, who I had been, into what I had been praying for. There was no way. Now, don't get me wrong, and I've said this in several, Substack posts that I've written and all the things. I don't beat myself up for being that person. That was who I needed to be when I needed to be her. She did her job. She was necessary. She fought and she survived. But the mech, my God, on today, that I'm becoming now, she don't operate from survival. She doesn't operate from force. She operates from a healing nervous system and alignment. She operates from sovereignty. Amen. Come close. Come here. Come here. I had to bury the first 35 years of my life. Not because they were wasted, but because they were complete. I had to close that chapter. And now at a budding and beautiful 36, and in my first house perfection year, in a 1 year, I am learning to not resurrect who I used to be, even in the moments where it's very tempting. I am embodying who I am evolving into. And y'all, it has been such a beautiful thing. Oh, it's been amazing. This is not my era of hustle, of proving myself, or shrinking to make other people comfortable. This is truly, we are not doing this. We're not tearing up. Excuse me, 1 second. This is the era of embodiment and alignment and consistency, and most importantly, above everything, keeping the promises that I made to myself. So yeah, I went on a little sabbatical, if you will. But I wasn't running like I normally do, though. I wasn't trying to outrun myself, okay? And my problems and my traumas and all of the things. Integrating, I was grieving, I was healing, my God. And now, I walked out of the wilderness with a new story to tell. And I said what I said, the 12th house is the wilderness. Very much so ghetto. Very much so ghetto. The version of Beck that y'all have been used to, we don't know her no more. We bid her farewell, okay? We bid her adieu. And honestly, I really didn't come back here to keep rehashing the same story that I've been telling for the last 35 years. We got new shit to talk about. It's time for me to write a new story, a new era. Like, when people say that Saturn matures at 36, the people did not lie. And when I say the people, I mean the astrologers. Shout out to all of you. And I really thought this video was going to be like all somber and dramatic and shit when I first thought about filming this video in my head. And I'm not mad that it wasn't that, because honestly, I'm off that. I'm off all that crying and weeping and whining shit. Buck up, buttercup. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to have fun from here on out. We're going to talk about books. We're going to do book reviews. We're going to discuss my life as an author. And we just going to let the good times roll. Because ain't no need to explain nothing else. Just watch.